the bar speed and legs for the train at all times. Next stop, New Orleans Rail Station.
Hello, folks. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're now embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland, followed by a visit to the Grand Canyon and Triangle World. We got a lot of traveling ahead of us, so remember, for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please, watch your chin. Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias. Uh-oh. Did you folks hear that? Sounds to me like we've reached the wilds of Adventureland, where you just might run into a lot of savage critters out there, including lions and tigers and tiki birds. Everybody best be on the lookout. You never know just what may show up.
Alright, folks, we're now steaming towards New Orleans Square Station. This will be your stop for all attractions such as the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Splash Mountain, Indiana Jones Adventure, the world famous Jungle Cruise, Walt Disney the Enchanted Tiki Room, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and much, much more. This will also be your stop for both showings of Fantastic, setting at 9 and 10:30 around the Rivers of America. If it's a good stop, then remain tuned to a train has stopped down. Along the please stop inside of the station and both select your top exit of the train. Once again, please do not stand up or show exit the train till the train has stopped down. Along the please stop inside of the station and both select your top exit of the train. Thank you. As far towards the center of the bench as possible. Next up will be Mickey's Toontown.
To those who just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please, watch your kids. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias. We're now entering Splash Mountain, where every day is a zippity-doo-dah day. If you look real hard, you might just find more laughing place. We're now passing over the take a turn left and turn there. And then walk forward to the right. Stop in the business way. We're traveling along the rivers of America and into the American frontier as it looked more than a century ago. This area is so rich with natural beauty and wildlife, you can see why the early settlers were inspired to move west. You're seeing this view just like many of them did, from the comfort of a genuine steam-powered train. When these iron horses first started crisscrossing the country in the 1800s, the time it took folks to reach the West dropped from months to many days. Like steam-powered not only fueled the train, but dreams of a whole new generation as they settled this great frontier.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are very quickly steaming our way to Mickey's Toontown Depot. Get way to Mickey's Toontown, where you can visit the boss in his house. Please do keep in mind, my friends, that Mickey's Toontown will close earlier than the rest of the park around 8:30 tonight, which is in about an hour and 15 minutes. In order to prepare for our 9:25 fireworks show, once again, my friends, Mickey's Toontown will close earlier than the rest of the park. Please keep that in mind if you plan on visiting. This is also your closest stop to our Fantasyland, my friends, which include attractions such as Into the Small World, Peter Pan's Flight, Up the Flying Elephant, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Toad's Scary Adventure, Pinocchio's Daring Journey, King Arthur's Carousel, Our Little Run to the Casey Junior Train, and so much more. If you are planning on leaving us here, ladies and gentlemen, as always, please remember to remain completely seated until the train has stopped fully in the station and you see one or both conductors out on the platform. Thank you.
Where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you'll be leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal belongings, then step carefully from the train. Y'all have fun and say hi to Mickey for me. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is Toontown Depot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten that green light and we are on our way into the future. Let's start my flight. Next stop, Tomorrowland Station.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please, watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we steam on, you may want to take one more look at the majestic Matterhorn Mountain and the happiest cruise of every state. It's a small world. Well, I guess we all know that. What I mean to say is, we're heading into Tomorrowland, where everything is possible. You look overhead, you might catch a glimpse of a monorail. When Disneyland introduced the monorail back in 1959, it was the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere. Winding below us is the Autopia, where drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of a car, and no license is required. If you've ever wanted to become an astronaut, then you might want to stop at Space Mountain and Star Tours, where they got some newfangled flying spaceships that launch you into the deepest reaches of space. And you can ride them if you got the mind.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, just ahead of us is Tomorrowland Station, your gateway to, unsurprisingly, Tomorrowland, with such attractions as the Autopia, which is to the engineer's right-hand side, the Monorail system, which is directly above you and will drop you off in the middle of our downtown Disney shopping district near the Disneyland Hotel, as well as Space Mountain, Star Tours, Buzz Lightyear, Astro Blasters, the Astro Orbiters, and Innovention. Now, and as always, my friends, please remember to remain completely seated until the train has fully stopped moving. Thank you. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who've been with us on the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland are very sure you know what's coming next. We are ready to depart, friends. Please remain seated now, hands, arms, feet, and legs completely inside the train car, and double check that all little ones whose feet do not touch the floor are seated as far towards the middle of the bench as possible. Our next stop will be Main Street Station, but I've become so fond of all of you, I think I'm going to take you on a road trip. How does the Grand Canyon sound? Perhaps we'll even do a little bit of time traveling. Time traveling is quite fun. My friends in the areas up ahead, please feel free to take as many photos as you'd like. Just take this opportunity now while we are in the daylight to turn the flash off of your cameras and phones. Once again, my friends, before we enter the magical time traveling tunnel up ahead of us, please no flash pictures or video lighting of any kind. And double check that you and your little ones remain safely seated or on a bench flat on a left. Thank you.
To those joining us, welcome aboard. The next leg of our journey will take us along the rim of the Grand Canyon. It's a mighty long drop to the canyon floor, so for your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Be sure to watch your kids and no flash pictures, please.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today, but it wasn't always that way. Quiet now as we travel back in time, back to the fantastic primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. Back to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you'll be leaving us here, stay in your seat till we come to a full stop. And remember to gather all your personal belongings, including the young ones if you got any, and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Main Street Station, your gateway to the main exit to Disneyland Park and entrance to Disney's California Adventure, as well as the main entrance to our downtown Disney shopping district. Please keep those strollers and wheelchairs folded, my friends, as this station has no ramps, only stairs. And as always, please remain seated until the train hops stop fully.